Okay, so let's go ahead and start these tests off again. Working on migrating Downshift's test suite from Enzyme to the new React test utils. And I think I finished this one, so left off here, we just have these left. This one doesn't actually use Enzyme at all, so we can move on. Neither does this one. Sweet. Actually, I think all of these. Okay, so here. This one does. But it should be pretty simple. For the most part. Looks like we're going to be looking for the label and the input. So we'll do data test ID equals those individual things, and do ID, and then here, let's see, we'll do import render from React testing library. And you know what, I'm gonna just call this as render to DOM, so I don't have to rename my render method all the time. Maybe I should go back and refactor the other ones to do the same thing. Yeah, that's so much better. And actually this would be called DOM utils. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. We'll just spread those, and actually I'm gonna go input equals DOM utils dot query by test ID input and label, and input and label, and item. Yep. Okay, and we'll just pass that on too. And then, oh, I've got some people talking. How's refactoring? Good. I'm almost done. Thank you for the stream. Could you say if using React testing library we need to use Jest, or does it provide everything? So yeah, it doesn't provide everything. It's actually really small. This is the entire library. Yeah, so you don't have to use Jest with it. You could use even like a non-testing framework if you want to, but it's definitely really useful to use Jest, and I wouldn't use anything else because Jest is amazing. It does rely on React DOM, which will rely on a DOM existing in the environment in which you're running it, and that environment's probably going to be Node, unless you want to run this in the browser, which you can. Yeah, it should work. You just use the compiled version, and then you'd use a bundler to get it bundled up. But in any case, yeah, this would totally run in a browser outside of that. And yeah, and you could run this with Mocha or Ava or anything else. But I like Jest, so. But yeah, it's not like a testing framework. It's just a little testing library. It doesn't do too much for you. Okay, so we'll do, I'm gonna do ID is coming from setup. I guess we are giving you the ID, I think that's how that works. Okay, so setup 1, we'll call this setup 2, and setup 3, and then And this is going to be setup 1 dot, and this will be setup 2 dot, remove the 2, and then setup 3 dot, and remove the 3. Then we're going to remove the instance everywhere, and let's just see if it magically works. Yeah, so Douglas mentioned, yes, I'm using Jest and enzyme nowadays in some side projects, so I was thinking to replace enzyme with that as you are doing. Yep, that's exactly what it is intended to be, a total enzyme replacement. It doesn't do everything enzyme does, but you shouldn't do those things anyway. So cool. All right, we are totally free of enzyme, I think, now. So if we go enzyme, so we still have the serializer, we still have the set of tests, and we can get rid of those things. Sweet. So if we go to other, set of tests, delete, and then go to package.json, find enzyme, and just config, and then actually, let me comment that out really quick. Okay, 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, let's see what happens if I remove that serializer. Oh, gotta remove that also. Don't need that for sure. But yeah, the serializer, I'm starting to wonder if maybe I don't need that. I used to have that one because I didn't realize that Jest can snapshot DOM nodes, but it can, which is amazing. Okay, here we go. So those tests are this one. Okay, nope, that's fine. So we'll just snapshot body. Yeah. So rather than the string, then actually we could probably do first child, just to narrow the snapshot down a little bit. And now it is even more diffable because all the attributes are on their own line, which is great. So let's just make sure that they didn't change in a bad way. So we got the ID. They're also sorted alphabetically. That's nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just the formatting. Sweet. I love this. Okay, update that. Okay, and that means that I actually don't need the Jest configuration at all, and KCD scripts. So this will list my scripts. I've got the test script. It's using KCD scripts tests. And so KCD scripts, because I don't have my own custom Jest config, it's gonna use an internal one. And so I don't need to even have one. Sweet. This is so great. Less config, better tests. Very good. Okay, cool. So now let's go ahead and add all these things. We'll git commit amend, so I can change the commit message, and my git hook will run. And that will take a moment. So if anybody has questions, there is a question here. The AG command, that is the silver searcher. Let me get that for you. It's great. It's basically like grep, but it is way faster and it has some handy features. So let me get that to you. That's AG, the silver searcher. It's wonderful. I heard that there's there's another thing that's similar but also faster, like written in Rust or something like that. But AG has always just been super great, so never really felt motivated to use anything else. Well, let's see, what else? Anybody have any other questions while we're waiting for this? Yeah. Let's figure out what this is all about. Can't write the coverage report because metrics is empty. Oops. Oh yeah, I moved my browser. Let's see here. Yeah, this is just a couple days ago, so there's presumably a broken release. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's because I ran my npm update script, which type npm update. Yeah, it's npm check u, and I don't know why that broke, but I just need to nuke my node modules. Am I gonna start using my new lib in my test workshops? Absolutely. But so here's the reason that I wrote the lib, actually. I can't show you now because I've reverted everything. Let me see if I can find it. So here's my testing workshop, and if I go back on my commits, yeah, remove enzyme entirely. There's a lot of unrelated stuff. By the way, all these builds are breaking because Appaveyor can't install Node. It's kind of a long story, but Node is a package on npm that installs Node. It's like wild, but okay. So yeah, here's no, this isn't a good example. Let me see if I can find a good example. Okay, yeah, here's an example. So in my testing workshop, the best kind of workshop experience I can give to people is, here, let's start with this like very bare minimum thing, and then we'll iterate to the better thing. And so I have this login login dot yeah, I guess yeah, it's kind of different now, but I had this login test utils thing, and this is supposed to be kind of the minimum, because it doesn't use enzyme. It's just like, okay, so we're going to use raw react DOM render and use the test utils to simulate things. I also have another one in here, and it's going to be in the workshop, where I create a new event, like an actual browser event, and I dispatch it on the form node, and so like it's raw, like as raw as you can get for this test. And then you work your way up to the finished version, which before I had it with enzyme, and like every step I was like, this is just getting worse. Like everything's worse. Like before it was so simple. You have node query selector, and like these are just DOM nodes. And so like whether or not you're familiar with DOM node stuff, I'd much rather teach people how to use DOM APIs than some like made up API from enzyme, because at least their knowledge is being is transferable, and DOM APIs are pretty ubiquitous, and like they're good to know anyway. Whereas here I'm like, okay, so you have this wrapper thing when you mount with this, and then you're gonna use this find API, and then you have to use this host nodes thing so you can get the node, the DOM node, and then instance to get the instance of the DOM node, I guess, like to unwrap the wrapper. And so there's just a whole bunch of stuff, and then there's this simulate thing, so on these wrappers. So there's a bunch of things on top of the wrapper. And then there's also here, when like before, with enzyme, to like make it re-render, I guess you have to call this update thing. I'm not even sure exactly what that does, and so I felt uncomfortable teaching people that, like, okay, just stick wrapper.update here because I don't know why. And so there's just a lot of really confusing things, and for a really long time I've felt this way about enzyme. I look at airbnb.io/enzyme, and I'm looking at these like, holy shnikes, there's tons of stuff. And first of all, shallow rendering. I've never liked shallow rendering. There's like right here, I'm expecting my component to render foo. Okay, so that's useful if you're wanting to test like just units, and that's fine to test units. Like let's assume that foo has been unit tested itself. But at the end of the day, like I will also have to unit test foo, or I could just test this my component like a full mount, and I get foo coverage naturally. I don't even have to test foo because it's covered here. Potentially, it really depends on what foo is or whatever. But the fact that my component is using foo to do its job is an implementation detail. It shouldn't, and so if I refactor stuff, then it's going to blow up. Like if I refactor my component to use a different component that's not foo but does the exact same thing, then I have to update my tests. Okay, so that's kind of useless. My whole point in having these tests is to make sure that I don't break things in the future, that the user requirements, so long as the user requirements don't change, my test shouldn't have to change. But that with shallow rendering, that's just not the way it works. And on top of that, in like a similar vein, this full DOM rendering is great, and that's basically what I'm doing, except like let's see, like the existence of the instance function where you can get an instance of the React component. That's not good, because now you can call, you can assert based on the state of the instance, or call instance methods. You can also do, where's the find thing? Like this is probably the most common one. Find. You can find based on a selector. That's fine. But you can also find based off of component constructors. And there again, that's your implementation detail right there. My component is rendering foo, but that, like, I don't care. And you can even a component display name. What if I rename foo? Now I have to update my tests. Like that's just, to me, that's total garbage. So there are just a ton of these methods that are useful, or have a purpose, but I don't like their purpose, and so that's why I created this testing library. The value isn't in what it can do that enzyme can't, because enzyme can do all of these things. It's the value is what can it not do that enzyme can, or even, like, who cares comparing it to enzyme? Just what can it not do, and what kind of tests does it encourage because it can't do those things. So anyway, that's why I wrote my own testing library. I looked around a little bit, and there were a couple that were a little more lightweight, but for the most part, it was just not good. So okay, so let's do chore test migrate from enzyme to React testing library. This was a pretty good test of how good that library is, and it turns out it's pretty good. It works out. So let's go ahead and actually I'm gonna run my flush npm command. That's gonna rimraf stuff and then say npm is done. So I'm gonna run flush npm. This is gonna take a while, especially since I'm streaming, so we'll see how that goes, but hopefully that fixes the code coverage issues here. I should have been doing that while I was going on my rant about how much I don't want to use enzyme anymore. But oh yeah, so we're not just going to blindly use this abstraction that I created. We're going to build up to it, and people are going to understand exactly what the testing library does. And I think everybody will be better for it. One criticism that I've gotten about this, and it's probably a legit criticism, is that performance. When you actually render something, not just shallow render or use the render to string API, when you're doing a full render, it's going to be slower. Your tests are going to be slower, but I am not so concerned about that. I'm pretty sure my bottleneck is not going to be in rendering my UI. And even if it is, then I probably have a problem in my UI that I need to deal with. On top of that, what I'm trading that performance for is more confidence. So that's a fine trade for me. So anyway, while I'm waiting for this install to take place, let's take a look at some of these notifications. Thumbs up. Yeah. Okay, actually what I should probably be doing is reviewing the downshift issues. So let me do that. I'm also going to send a quick text here really fast. If my computer would be fast, then it would be really fast, but it's not going to be. So that's kind of annoying. All right. Okay. Hey Kent, can't wait to see your talk next month here in Phoenix. Well, thank you. That's so nice. Just, I don't know if you were aware of this, but yeah, PayPal will be hosting a meetup in Phoenix, and I will not actually be there, but I will be speaking remotely if they still want me. So yeah, hopefully that works out. I think it'll be fun. Okay. Okay. Cool. Now, sorry for that. NPM is done. Okay, now if I'll run the validation script here. And while that's running, let's take a look at this. Okay, so I'm gonna create a milestone. Here, let's go to milestones. Just get my work organized. Here, actually, let's close that milestone, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't really use these. Okay, new milestone. 2.0.0. We don't put due dates in open source. Some small breaking changes that we've saved up necessitate a new major version. Upgrading should be fairly minimal. Should require fairly minimal effort. Yep. Okay, now let's go to our issues. Flow typed. So I've thought about updating the entire code base to be flow typed. Hey, look, it worked. Wait, what? No, it didn't work. Something broke. TypeScript is busted. Huh. Well, let's go ahead and we'll open a pull request and see what happens. Oh, actually, it's gonna be your test migration, and this also upgrades everything. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh well. Doodaloo. Okay, create pull request. Okay. What? Moving from enzyme to React testing library. Why? Enzyme is overcomplicating things in our tests, and I wanted to take React testing let's see. remove enzyme related packages. It's going to be a list. Remove jest config for enzyme stuff. Update test to use a new lib. Okay, docs. This is NA. Tests, good. Ready to be merged, yes. NA. Okay, so we'll see what Travis does to this. Seems pretty unrelated. Okay, well, here, I do want to at least see if everything else is working. Well, mostly I want to see test cover. See if that's working, because that's what I originally wanted to reinstall all the packages for. Here, let's actually see what version of TypeScript changed to, and if I should maybe change that back. Nope, that didn't change. Well, that's interesting. I don't know. Well, whatever. We'll just see what Travis says about this. Okay, so flow typed. Do I want to change that entirely to do I want to change all the source code to flow? I don't think that I do. The reason that I don't normally do that is because because anybody contributing to the code base will have to learn flow, and I just don't think that's very nice. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave that one. The React Native thing, I'm not doing any work there, but other people are, so I'm not gonna do anything there. This one, I guess we fixed it. It just never closed. I had to remind myself how this was solved. Well, I'm glad that was solved. Cool. That's the best. When you close an issue, you didn't realize it. Okay, beginner-friendly docs. Now, I really don't know what to do about that one, but it's not going to be part of 2.0. Improved mapping of ARIA roles and attributes. Now, this one I think I could do without breaking anything necessarily. Could be all backward compatible. So I think, and somebody already started this one. I think I'm just going to finish it. There might be some sort of breaking changes. But yes, anyway, in any case, this one's definitely a big part of the 2.0 milestone. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. So we'll move on. Oh yeah, this is another one I've been wanting to, and this one's kind of dependent on the other one. Let's see, what was the solution? Okay, so that's the solution right here. Okay, yeah, so this will be part of 2.0 also. Okay. Oh, yep, code gets moved around. When you want to link to like specific lines of code or something, and before copying the URL, hit the Y key, and it will take you to the latest commit, and then your link will never change based off of the changes in the code. Just a little tip there for you. Input field examples, some TypeScript stuff, React Native stuff. That's a documentation thing. Oh, actually, let me deal with that really quick. Oh, and it looks like he did push an update. Okay, yeah, so this is totally ready. I just need to resolve some conflicts. This happens all the time, all contributors thing, and sometimes it doesn't work out very well when I try to resolve these conflicts, but we'll give it a shot. So this, and then this, and that, and that. Okay, last time I did this, I had incorrect JSON by mistake, so, okay. So here, what on earth? Okay. There, and tack this on right there. Actually, let's just check the table right now, make sure we're not needing a new column. Normally I don't edit this by hand, but I don't want to have to pull down his branch, so I'm going to edit it by hand right now. Okay, so it looks like we're not adding a new column, so we can just do this. And this should hopefully work for us. And I can review this. And then next time, if I made any mistakes, the next time we run the generate script thing, it will be updated anyway, so it's not a huge deal if it's not right away. Cool. Okay, cool. So now I can approve this. Awesome. Thank you. We can get one of those done. And we'll say docs. Add docs for keydown handlers. And now we can look at, okay, sweet. So my problems look to be local. I'm going to just try and reinstall everything again. And we'll run npm run validate when that's done, and say all finished Kent. Okay, cool. I think that's what I just fixed, so that should be gone now. That looks fine. This table is kind of messed up, but I don't know how to make it any better, so okay. Yeah, we got a section on event handlers now. Sweet. Okay. Input field examples. Feel free to make a PR to the to add an example. I'm going to go ahead and close this for inactivity for now. Oops. Thanks. Okay, nice to clean some things. Oh, cool. Somebody is contributing to this little project. Oh, I've been missing some questions. Sorry. I'll get to you in just a sec. Sure. Can't wait to see it. Okay. So, some questions. Quick question. How does it fit in with your day job to maintain several open source projects, writing weekly emails, blogs, and preparing for workshops and talks? I get this question a lot. So much that I have an answer on my AMA. Well, one of the big things, like right now what I'm doing, as you can see in the URL, this is a PayPal project. I created it. It was like my idea to go ahead and make this all open source and everything. I got permission. But it is an open source PayPal project, and so I do get work time. Like I'm working right now. So there's that. That has kind of a big impact on my ability to do this. But also time management, I think. Question. No. Time. How do you manage your time? There we go. So I will paste this in here for you. I feel like, yeah, that should probably help answer that question. Also, if you go to my website, I think this podcast, I talk about it. I think this one, I talk about it. Yeah, there are several of these that I talk about it. You can go listen to those. Developer on Fire, probably. Tyler Maginnis podcast. Yeah, there are a couple of these. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. What else? So this looks like it wasn't actually closed. We need to close that. React Native thing. Okay, let's just go through each one of these one by one. Thanks. I think it's Austin Wood. Yeah. This has been documented. Okay, we'll close that. And move on to the next one. Default behavior for mouse up. Oh yeah, I asked him to open this. Okay, let's see. Boys, so sometimes when I'm commenting in here, I like change my mind and think of, oh wait, but this, and I don't like, I like to paste out my thought process, but that makes it pretty confusing. So I think I want to, yeah, let's just put this on the, here, actually, let's make another milestone for things that I want to do before 2.0. Oh, whoops. Now this isn't even gonna issues, milestones.
All finished canned.
All finished canned. Oh, man. Huh. Okay, what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna pop this open. I'm gonna have it, I'm gonna delete the node modules cache and restart the build and see if that breaks this. Delete all caches and restart this one. See what happens. Okay, milestones. Got a new milestone. Pre 2.0.0 stuff we can get merged in without breaking anything. Actually, this one technically is a breaking change, and I don't think anybody really cares, so I'm gonna actually make this a 2.0. Okay. Support content editable. Any thoughts here? I'm preparing Downshift at 2.0, and it'd be cool to be able to say we support content editable, even if it's just a simple example or another lib built on top of Downshift. What do you think? Okay, space key down to toggle menu can't be used without resetting the input. I think we got that. This was resolved. Thanks, Austin. Austin Akaberry. Yeah, I never really read these out loud. Okay, so this one. I think we can go ahead and do a null check. I'm fine with that. if I were to turn on flow, then it would get mad at me for not doing a null check anyway. So let's add this, or we're gonna switch this to help wanted, I guess, and milestones 2.0. Yeah, so this is a documentation problem. I'm honestly not sure what to do about this. We'll switch it to docs. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what to do about this one, so I'm going to go ahead and close it. Someone can open a PR to improve the docs if they like. Okay, and this one is definitely a 2.0.0, and let's give this a look. I'm gonna actually, yeah, update his URL. Okay. Static property assignment, prevent tree shaking. Not mentioning that adding default is not proper way of supporting default import declarations. Discussed it here. Okay, and I'm having similar issues in PayPal scripts, which this might fix. Okay. Okay, this one, I'm not going to solve it right now, but it is one that I want solved for 2.0.0. Okay, cool. Let's go over to that milestone now that we've got all those sorted. It's like Travis is still running. Yep, test TS worked. So there's something borked up with my local machine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just open a new one, go to the desktop, and git clone PayPal Downshift, and I'm using hub, which is like an alias to Git. So alias to hub, and hub is this awesome thing created by GitHub that does some really cool things with GitHub. So anyway, let's go ahead and cd into Downshift, and we'll npm run setup and say finished, and we'll see what happens in a brand new setup. Maybe there's something weird about my project or something. Okay, cool. So let's sort these according to what I want to accomplish. Let's do this one first. We'll do this one toward the end. This one after that. Okay, cool. So let's work on that one. And actually, this is a pre 2.0.0. So I can release this right now. Okay, well, let's go ahead and check out master. And I'm going to, well, I don't want to really get too far down working on stuff till this is merged. So, okay, I'm working on this on Downshift right now, and I want to avoid merge conflicts. So I'm going to go ahead and merge this now. Okay, this is what I get for being an administrator, haha. Okay, chore, tests, migrate to React testing library, boom. Okay. Oh, whoops, man, this didn't have my changes. So I'm gonna do this all over again, git clone, PayPal, Downshift, cd down, whoops, shift, npm run setup, say all finished. Okay, so let's find root node. Okay. I'm gonna have a Istanbul problem, I think. Root node. That needs a refactor. Const target is root. And then this is going to be root contains target. Hey there, Golden Beat. I'm glad you like the new testing library. I think it's pretty cool too. And so we'll say the combination of these is const target within root. Or root contains target. Target in downshift. Or maybe target is downshift. Oh, in makes more sense. Okay. So if the target is in downshift and the state is open, 1 second. All right, I'm back. Oh, somebody, thank you for telling me about my speaker cables. Really need to fix this, but, yep. You're hearing one side, big time. Is that better? Maybe a little bit. Nope. Okay, that's probably about as good as, well, I could get a little better. Okay, that's about as good as it's gonna get. I don't know, I've got a box over this thing, so nobody's like playing with it or anything. That just technology. Okay. Cool. Hey, this is running just fine in a fresh project. So yeah, I probably got something messed up here. So that's fine. I can deal with that later. Okay, cool. So if the target is in downshift and it's open, let's see. Oh no, we want it if the target is not in downshift. And cool, all finished. So if it's not in downshift and it's open, Yeah, see, this is what happens when you don't refactor earlier. Okay, so on mouse app. So this is when you're clicking outside of the downshift context, then we want to reset. Unless you are okay, so if the target's not in downshift and it's open and it's not the input, the new active element is on. So const target is downshift input. And active element ID is, okay, so let's just make sure the logic is, so the target is root, root contains target. Okay, so if it's not in downshift and it is open and it's not target is downshift input. Okay. Let's see what Purdue does with that. Yeah, puts it back. So we'll run our test with that. Oh. Wait, what? I thought I pulled. Oh, I didn't pull. Stash, get pull, get stash, pop. Okay, now we run our tests. And what? Oh, did I not remove that? Whoops. What? What? No. That should have been removed here. Enzyme. Oh, I guess I never did. Whoops. Okay, let's just get stash really quick. Actually, we'll then package JSON, enzyme, okay, and oh, actually, also HTML, and then rmrf chest config, and then nrt test cover. That's the one that matters. Huh. And I never updated. What? It's like I forgot to add a bunch of changes. Huh. AG enzyme. And Okay, fine. Okay, this is gonna be import render. Oh man, this one was like non-trivial. How frustrating. It wasn't like super non-trivial, but render as render dom to dom. Can't remember what I did. From React testing utils. I don't like that color scheme. This will work, I guess. Get rid of that. And this is going to test my Vim skills. I get so used to using Vim and Atom. Actually, we need to go up here and add data test ID label. Data test ID input ID. Oops. And actually, let's see. Here, instead of a wrapper, we're gonna do render, or I think I call it DOM utils. Render and input equals DOM utils query by test ID input. I just really don't want to open up Atom, I guess. This will be label, and this will be item 0. Utils input label item. Okay, and then I think this one I just said setup 1. Okay. Oops. Setup 2 and setup 3. Let's see. And then this was going to be changed my mind. Setup 1 dot. Setup 2 dot, and then, oh, whoops. Ah, man. Okay, I think that'll work. If it doesn't, then I'm gonna pull open my editor, because this is kind of ridiculous. But I also wanted this one. Document.body.firstChild. Okay, and with those, snapshots should all be updated. React testing utils. Oh, whoops. Source tests utils reset. It's not utils, it's library. I knew it. Get label props. What? It's not a function. What the? Okay, of all the things, render. What the? Of all the things that it could have blown up, that was like the last one I expected. Oh, here we go. I know. Render to DOM. Calling the wrong render method. Sweet. Okay, git add, git commit, test or chore test. Somehow missed this in my PR. Hit push. So we deleted those 2 files, removed some of those dependencies, and updated those tests. Okay, well, let's go ahead and stash and get pull, and get stash pop, and run our tests. Okay. Sorry, just reviewing a couple things really quick. The tests all passed, so that's good. But I'm pretty sure we're missing some coverage. Live streaming like destroys my computer. Okay, there we go. Here, let's open the coverage lcov index.html. Oops. Pull this over so y'all can see this. And it is Downshift.js. Here, root, and, or, yeah, here we go. So the alt. I figured that. Yep. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. So we've got that, and then yeah, I got all this covered. So it means it runs, but it doesn't. Yeah. Okay, so it's pretty much just this. If this dot root node, and actually let's see what happens if you pass find parent, finder node. Okay, actually this is fine. Yeah, that's not a big deal. It'll cover. And this is such an edge case anyway that I'm not too worried about it. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. Good. Okay, sweet. So now I'm gonna make a branch. Probably should have done that from the start. Null check, or we'll call this refactor mouse up handler. Get add get commit all the things. It's gonna run my pre-commit hook, which takes a second. But this fixes 366. Okay. My poor computer. Its fan never stops blowing. Ever since I got two 4K monitors. Oh man, see this TS testing thing is messed up. So I'll just do no verify. Okay, so let's see, chore. Well, I guess this is a fix. Add null check for root. This dot root node. Also refactor, so we can read the code. Okay. Oh, actually, get commit amend no verify. Just want to change this. Closes number 366. Okay. Create this pull request. Add a null check for this dot root node. Why? Because it closes. Also refactor the code. How? Give variable names to things and use this dot root node and do. So this is NA. Tests are good. It's ready to merge, and that's an NA. Okay, cool. So next, did I have anything else in the pre 2.0 milestone? Nope. Okay. Cool. So next is the default behavior for mouse up. And this is a 2.0 thing. So I'm going to make a new branch for this and merge things into that new branch. Oh, I should probably look at these pull requests too, actually. I feel like there's some that might be ready. This one. I'm gonna just blow all this away. Start from scratch locally. And copy that get ignored file so I get my git hooks. Okay. So for this, oh, let's see. This is an step. Okay. My computer's like, stop doing so much stuff. You're live streaming and you're doing this and that. Okay. See, the syntax highlighting is still coming in. Come on, Adam. Here we go. So the issue is this mouse up handler. And I'm saying, well, so the issue is So only reset if the event target is not within the downshift root node and the active element is in the root downshift node. Okay, so you're clicking okay, so I think, oh man, that was not what I was expecting to happen. Well, hey there, bunch of people who suddenly randomly joined. You're gonna watch me stare at my screen while I try to figure out what's going on. In reality, sometimes it can be fun to watch me. Because I do silly things. Now I'm seeing that TypeScript problem. This is really annoying. TypeScript. I'll tell you. So the Glamorous library that I made has not had a significant code change for months, but it has had a silly amount of TypeScript fixes since the last code change. Like it's crazy. Most of the activity on that library is TypeScript related. I think type JavaScript is great, but man, and now we're getting this too. This is annoying. I'm probably gonna see the same thing locally. It's frustrating. Okay, well, let's just look it up, I guess. This is from last year. I don't think that's the same thing. Let's do in the past week. Nothing in the past week. Boo. Okay, I gotta switch position. I'm getting sore. And a headache. Okay. Headache brought on by TypeScript. You know how I solve problems with TypeScript? By disabling it. So that's probably what I'm gonna do so I can keep moving forward and somebody else can fix it. Cause I don't do the TypeScript thing.